If you've got kids, you know the drill. They complain about ear pain, you drag everyone to the doctor, pay the copay, and half the time they tell you there's no infection. What if you could check yourself before making that trip? So let's go over this otoscope. I'm gonna show you the key features, do a quick demo of how it actually works, and talk about who this is for. So this is the digital otoscope with a built-in screen. It's basically the same tool doctors use to look in your ears, but with a camera and a display so you can actually see what's going on yourself. So it shoots in 1080p HD with a 1.38 inch IPS LCD screen right on the device here. No phone needed, no app to connect to. You just turn it on and look. And we'll go over a demo of that in a second here. So let me show you what you get in the box. Okay, so let's do an unboxing of the otoscope. All right, so of course we have the instruction manual. And we have the otoscope itself. Looks really nice, feels sturdy. Then we have our USB-A to USB-C cable. Then we have a bunch of cotton swabs. And then we have our 10 ear and nasal inspection tips. Okay, and then finally we have our 2 skin inspection tips. So let's have a look at these, get a closer look at them, soft feel to them. Those are the same. These are also all the same, just different sizes. Also really soft, you can stretch it. Okay, you have all the essentials here. The otoscope, instruction manual, cable, 10 ear nasal inspection tips, the 2 skin inspection tips, and the cotton swabs. Okay, so let's have a closer look at the actual device that you get. So we have the power button right here. Then we have the button to take video or an image. And then we have the zoom in button right here. USB-C is on the bottom to charge it. If we look on the side, see that it says reset and TF. So if we take off this flap, we can reset the device right over here. And this is where we can add in our micro SD card. One thing to note is it does not come with a micro SD card. So if you want to record video or transfer files to your computer, you'll need to pick one up separately. And overall, the build quality feels solid. Also, one thing to note is that you can adjust it as well. So you get at the right angle. That's nice. You turn it on so you can see the screen. Hold down the button for a couple seconds, and there we can see the table. The screen is bright and sharp. It's actually brighter than I expected. Again, it is a 1080p HD camera, 1.38 inches. What this means is that you can see everything in real time without messing with your phone, no Bluetooth pairing, no app downloads. You just turn it on like this and you're good to go. Also, this has 4 LED lights with multiple brightness levels you can cycle through. Of course, you know, the inside of an ear canal is dark, so having adjustable lighting means you can see clearly without the camera washing out. And we can cycle through the different brightnesses by pressing the power button. You can see it goes from 1, 2, and 3. Back to 0, so go ahead and show you. So that's off at 0, 1, 2, and 3. So it's a little bit harder to see just on the device itself, but it does make a difference when you're looking in an ear or nose canal. That's a nice touch to this. Then we'll go into the magnification right here. So I'll show you with the screen, zoom in on my MacBook. So there's 2x, 3x, and then 4x. This is a digital zoom. Again, a nice touch here. So you can use the zoom and the brightness to be able to actually see. So, you know, if you're trying to spot redness or inflammation, this level of detail actually matters. Being able to zoom right in without moving the device is really convenient. Okay, to just put on the skin tip, just take off the main one that's there. Just go ahead and slide this on like that. You're good to go. There we go. It's a little bit harder to see, but you can definitely see my skin. Look at the freckle right there, big dot. And then when we zoom in, we can see the circumference get bigger, 2x, 3x, 4x, tilt it off to the side so you can see, so I can really see my skin. So this skin one is great. You know, of course, for close-up shots, you know, so if you've got a mole or something you want to send to a dermatologist, you can actually capture that. And again, you can snap photos or record video directly on the device. This is actually a big deal if you want to share something with your doctor, as mentioned. And instead of trying to describe what you're seeing, you can just send them a picture. And you could potentially actually get prescriptions called in this way, no office visit needed, which is pretty cool. It's also good for tracking something over time. Okay, another great thing about this is you can actually attach this to your computer and use your computer screen to see the reading on this. Okay, so we've gone ahead and connected it. So then we get this screen, it says device, memory, or computer. So we can choose which one we want. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled up Photo Booth on my Mac, and now we have the camera source for the otoscope. So now we can see a lot easier than that small screen. You can zoom in. So when you have it connected to the computer, the buttons don't work, the zoom or the light. Just keep that in mind. You do have a bigger screen that you can look at, which is nice. It's all the way up really close, which is cool. You can really see everything now. There we go, there's a freckle right there. There we go. So honestly, this method is a lot better, even though the brightness isn't as high. Let's see, maybe I'll detach this and see if I can change the brightness that way. Let's go to 3 and zoom in all the way, then reconnect. Go down to my computer. Okay, so I believe that was zoomed in. I think so, yeah. Yeah, you just have to set it before you plug it into the computer because you can't adjust the settings that way. Okay, so I'll go ahead and unplug this. Okay, so just to show you how to take a photo, let me move this so you can see. Just press the button once and it takes a photo. If you want to take a video, hold down the camera button. You can see there's no TF card. Again, we'll need to have it attached to the computer or have a TF card, which is the micro SD card. Okay, and then the battery life of this thing. So the battery is 2000 mAh, which should give you several hours of continuous use on a single charge. So again, this charges through the USB-C, does fast charging, which is nice. From what I've noticed, the battery actually lasts quite a while. So each ear check only takes, a minute or two. A full charge could easily last you weeks of normal use before needing to plug it in again. Okay, so let's now cycle through the brightness levels. So you can see, my arm is right there, my freckle. Let's go ahead and change. That's 1, 2, 3, and then back to 0. So it's a little bit harder to see through the camera, but when I go to 3, it's the clearest out of all of them. Of course, brightest light, but for the camera purposes, go to 1, that seems to be the best. So now we'll do the zoom, test the zoom. Okay, it's 1x, 2x, 3x, and 4x. So really clear. Again, it's a little bit harder to see, not as much detail in the camera, but you get a really good idea of what you're seeing. Okay, and then we'll put on the ear and nose canal tip, take off the skin one. Really simple, just slide that on. And it's always good to just wipe these off with alcohol wipes once you're done using them. That's one thing that could be improved, is they could include alcohol wipes with your purchase. Okay, so just to show you here with the ear canal tip on, I know this is obviously not my ear. Go ahead and put it off to the side like this. Here you can see if I go too far, like with the skin one, then you just see nothing. Take it off my skin a little bit. You can see the zoom, 3x there, 4x, and back to 1x, and then the different brightness, 2, 3, back to 0. So you can see it really magnifies, so you can really get in there and see the detail on the eardrum, see if there's any redness or inflammation. And again, quick pressing with it to take a photo, and then long pressing to take a video. Okay, so the pros and cons of this. First, the built-in screen is pretty big, so it's not needing to connect to your phone, makes this so much more convenient as well. Second, the image quality is actually really good, crystal clear, and the LED lighting helps a lot on this. Also, the multi-purpose design, ears, nose, throat, skin, you're getting a lot of functionality out of this one device. Okay, and then the silicone tips are soft and gentle, not hard plastic, which makes a real difference, especially with your kids. Okay, so what can be improved? The SD card could be included. That'd be nice if there was a micro SD card. That way you don't have to buy one to record video. That's really only my complaints with this thing. So this is for parents with young kids. This is really the sweet spot here. If your kids get ear infections, being able to check at home before deciding if you need a doctor visit is really big. So being able to catch things early helps prevent bigger problems down the road, and you can skip unnecessary copays. So really, this is a must-have tool for your medicine cabinet. This also could be for pet owners. It works great for checking your dog's or cat's ears for wax buildup or irritation. So it's not just for yourself or for your kids. This is also good for anyone who wants peace of mind. If you're prone to ear issues yourself, or you just want to monitor things at home, this gives you that professional level of visibility. And you can check throat and nose too, not just ears, really handy during cold season. And honestly, if you're just curious about what's going on inside your ears, well, be prepared. You're going to learn things about yourself you didn't ask to know. But oddly, it's weirdly satisfying, just, like looking at your skin, your ears, your nose, your throat. Okay, so who this is not for. If you're a medical professional who needs clinical grade equipment, this probably isn't going to cut it here. It's designed for home use and monitoring, not professional diagnosis. So in my opinion, and this is definitely something worth checking out if you've got kids or pets or really anyone in your household who deals with ear issues. It's like having what the doctor uses right at home. You can actually see what's going on, take pictures, and make informed decisions about whether you need that doctor's visit. And you can also throw these images into AI and get suggestions as well based on the image of the affected area. And honestly, the image quality surprised me on this. It's really clear. It's not needing a smartphone connection. That's really nice. And for the peace of mind it gives between doctor visits, this is definitely worth checking out.